Hello and welcome to week 6 for EDUC 407. Make sure you're getting everything done from the first couple weeks. We're moving into the last part of the class, so we only got 3 weeks left after this. So please make sure you're getting everything done, and if you have any issues, let me know. But let's get into what we're going to be doing this week. Let's see. This week we're going to be dealing with 3 assignments, one of which is collaborating with Google Workspace. And we'll talk a little bit about that in just a sec. Then you got the book reading and Slack group discussion, where you're going to be using your template for your book club. We'll talk about that in a little bit as well. And then the last one, this is probably the largest assignment, is your collaborative storytelling assignment, where you do have to work with your group. All these assignments are due on the 2nd of October. So make sure you're getting everything in. It may take you some time to do some stuff, so make sure you plan as much ahead as possible so that way you don't fall behind or you get a little stressed out about it. Okay, let's look at the first one, collaborating with Google Workspace. There's going to be a video on Google Apps for Education. They call it GAF now. We'll talk about using Google Apps, Google Drive, Google Classroom, all the things that Google offers us, which are free for most people, so that's a really good thing. And then once you've finished watching that video and the articles, you're going to write a reflection on one idea you would bring to your team, whether that could be a grade level, it could be a PLT, it could be any type of thing where you might bring to a team, like how could we use this to collaborate a little bit better. I used the example in class this last week where I use Google Sheets to where we submit our test scores, so that we can talk about that a little bit more in detail, like who's doing well in one area, who's doing bad in another area, how can we help each other better, because ideally we're all in it for the students. So if we're going to do that, we want to make sure we're collaborating, but also getting some data that we can actually collaborate effectively. The second assignment is the book reading and group discussion. So you need to read chapters 3 through 6 in your textbook. If you haven't got it yet, make sure you get it because you do need it. You'll also complete slides 3, 4, and 5 on your book club template. You are not submitting your book club template this week for me to look at. What you're going to do is you're going to meet with your group, the same groups that you guys have been working with, so just make sure you just use that same thread, and share your ideas. Okay, share your ideas with each other so that can help you finish 3, 4, and 5 on your book club template. Because you might think, I want to do this, but then someone's going to tell you maybe that won't work as well because they have experience in it, and maybe try this. And a lot of times when you're discussing it with people, that really does make a difference on kind of refining how you want to do things. Because I know as a teacher, we got grandiose ideas. I want my kids to do this. I want them to be this. But realistically, what's going to work in the classroom to get them closer to that level? Okay, so that's going to be the thing where you discuss with each other, bounce ideas off of each other, and help each other out. And that's really the name of the game. The last assignment is a collaborative storytelling assignment. So with the same group, you're selecting a short fairy tale or children's story. 3 Little Pigs, Humpty Dumpty, it could be anything. Cat in the Hat, just something short. You don't want to deal with a long fairy tale. We're not dealing with Lord of the Rings or Harry Potter or Star Wars or anything like that, but we just want a short fairy tale. You want to divide the story into, in this case, 4 sections, because each of you is going to have a section of the story. And what you'll do is you'll either create a Google slide deck. I know a lot of people like to do that and then do the screencasting. Or if you want to go a little more extravagant, you can use props, you can use different things. Just make sure you're recreating the story in your own words, okay? You can make it modern, you could go back in time, however you want to do it. And the idea is that you as a team are creating the story. It could have 3 or 4 different ways of looking at it, and I think that might be pretty cool. If one person does one thing, one person does a different thing, and then you so on and so on. So what you're doing is you're creating the story with pictures, props, even different wording if you want to, just as long as it's not, messing it up or anything like that, or changing the meaning of the story. Although you're more than welcome to try that if you want. There's nothing wrong with that. You're going to screencast your slides or your video. You're going to upload it to YouTube. Make sure you're sending the links to your YouTube video to everybody else so they can see it. And then what you're going to do is you're creating a playlist where I can watch all of the videos in order. So when I watch all the videos in order, what's going to happen is it's going to allow me to see it and then see the story as it unfolds with 4 different ways of creating, a screencast, a collaborative storytelling, and bring your personalities into it. You can bring your children into it or props or anything like that, whatever makes it work for you. Okay. As long as I get a submit to the link to the playlist from YouTube, so you have to make sure all the settings are all set, put it on Blackboard, and then I'll grade it because I'll watch all 4 videos from each group. Okay, so that is one assignment that you have to do. What I want to do is look inside Blackboard. So let's kind of look at that right now. So looking here, collaborating with Google Workspace is the first assignment. So what you'll do is you'll click on this link. There's a video to watch on Google Apps for Education. So it kind of goes through almost all of the different tools that Google has available for us. They're very similar to Microsoft tools if you've been using Microsoft for any number of years, but it allows a little bit different perspective with Google that you can use. And then you're going to read 2 articles. One is Google Classroom for Teacher Collaboration. We use it in the district for our new teacher program where we use Google Classroom. We've got forms, things to do, our request to be absent. All of it is all self-contained within Google Classroom, and we can collaborate with each other. But people use Google Classroom for a lot of different things too. And there's an Edutopia article that I want you guys to read. Once you've done that, what I want you to do is come back up here to the top, look at the situation. Imagine you're working at a new school. What is one idea you would bring to your team that uses Google Workspace to help teachers collaborate better? What is one thing, idea, tool, what is it going to take to help teachers collaborate better? Write your answer in the right submission box, and that'll be that first assignment. Coming back to the main page, your book reading and group discussion. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to read chapters 3 through 6 in the textbook. So if you got the textbook, make sure you start reading so that way you don't feel like you're overwhelmed by as much reading as there may be. You're going to complete slides 3 through 5 in your book club slide deck. So I'm going to show you what that looks like right here. So you should have already completed this one. This is for the week that's ending today. But you start going to number 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so what you want to do on this one, you are going to read chapters 3 through 6. And then you come up to the next one, and you want to complete your turn, develop a conceptual framework for your project. So on pages 91, 92, there's kind of like a little thing to work out. You're more than welcome to type everything in here. If you're doing it on a separate sheet of paper, you want to post that picture in there, you're more than welcome to. I'm not going to look at it till near the end. So one of the things that I do recommend is like start communicating with your team. Like, hey, this is an idea I want to try. What do you guys think? Brainstorm. So that way, as you're doing these things, that conceptual framework, it's going to make a little bit more sense. And then you want to get to the next one, complete your turn designing your project, pages 107 to 110. Think about how you're going to engage students in researching a topic, collaborating with the team. So you want to see how are you going to encourage your students to do these things and to ask those deep questions. If you find that you can't fit everything on one page, feel free to add more slides. It's not a problem. It's your template because it's your own. So if you have to add more slides to it, no big deal. Okay, so please make sure, don't think that you have to fit everything on one slide. If you duplicate a slide, put it there, and I see it, that's going to be perfectly fine. Then make sure you're answering these, talking on Slack. So I will look on Slack to say, hey, are you guys doing what you're supposed to be doing? And if you are, you'll get credit for it. But again, you just want to bounce those ideas off of each other. The hardest thing is creating something. You have a good idea, but not knowing how to do the mechanics of it to reach your students. Even as a teacher myself, I'm always looking at different things. Would this work in my classroom? How can I make this work? The types of students I have. So you definitely want to make sure you're looking at all the different things that you might have to deal with. So that way you're going to plan an appropriate project that will be very deep for the students and will provide a lot of good learning for them. Coming back to our content here, our last assignment is that collaborative storytelling. Again, selecting a fairy tale, children's story, whatever you want to do. Divide it into sections, talk amongst each other how you want to do it. I know it says you need to create a Google slide deck. I know some people might just use their cell phone and like recreate it outside. Hey, I am more than happy with that. Okay, so however you want to do it, just as long as it's doing the story. Then each member is going to screencast that section of the story. So if you do it on your phone, make sure you upload it to YouTube. If you do a screencast, make sure you upload it to YouTube. Make sure you make it to where anybody can view it, at least for this class, so that way we don't run into any issues there. You guys are going to share the links with each other. So I should see those links in Slack as you guys are working throughout the week. So that way, when you guys need to make that playlist, and whether all of you guys submit the playlist or just one person, just make sure that I get it so I could see who is doing it and make sure we get that all set up. Okay, but I did provide an example here. You might look at EDUC 407, collaborative storytelling. You might find some different ones that people have done. This is one from another instructor, which was really good. A portion of the Three Little Pigs. So there was their particular portion. You'll notice if you watch it, it's only like 1:31. So again, you're not going to do a large video. You're just doing your section, and then all the sections will be combined together to basically represent one video. If you have any questions on how to do any of this stuff, you run into any technical issues, please reach out to me. Okay. If you are noticing that on your grades something is wrong, please talk to me. Okay. I noticed there's some mistakes that I had made on someone else's grades. That happens. Please let me know. I don't want you to have a bad grade that when you don't deserve it. If you do turn in stuff that is a little bit late, I may have to dock some points, but I'm trying not to dock too many, but you got to make sure you get everything in. If you do have any questions, please let me know. If you need to talk to me, we can meet on Zoom at any point. But we will have class. We won't have class this Thursday. I need to remember that. There will not be class on campus or on Zoom this Thursday. However, if you do need to meet with me, there will be opportunities for me to actually get on a computer. I will be at a conference, but there'll be plenty of dead time. So if I need to meet with anybody, let me know. Send me an email, send me a chat request or something like that, and I will work with you. Looking forward to seeing everybody's work. I know you guys are doing well so far, but if you have any questions, reach out to me. I look forward to the next time I see you.